Thank you very much, Coach Saadia Khan, a strong Muslimah life coach from Canada. So let you introduce yourself, inshallah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and uh,
Mm,
and where you are and what you do?
sure. So I actually did not start life coaching until a couple of years ago. My background is that I have a master's in history and political science with a minor in psychology. And then from there, I did a master's in education, and I stayed in education for the better part of 2 decades. After that, I saw a need in the community, and I saw that I was always involved in the community on a sort of volunteer or ad hoc basis, and I was doing counseling, and I ran a converts halakha for a while. I ran a Muslim women's divorce support group for a while, and I saw that even in my work as a teacher, and I worked in Islamic school for a little while, I saw that, the kids who are really struggling, they're not struggling necessarily because they're not getting the academic material, but they're struggling because they come from families that are struggling. And I spent a lot of my time sort of supporting parents and helping them build like a more functional or more beautiful family culture so that their child would then feel free to pursue, the kinds of academic or athletic or other things that they were interested in, because it's very hard to do that if you come from a very toxic home environment, right?
Yeah.
So when I saw that I was doing all this work, um, I knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling me to something, but I kept thinking that's not my career, that's just my volunteer work. But when COVID hit, and the calls, of course, a lot of marriages were strained during COVID. A lot of people got into, run-ins with their teenagers, especially. I got a lot of calls, and I saw, and my husband actually is the one who said to me, "Hey, like, why don't you turn this into something? Why don't you create a business out of this? And you can just do it on the side." Subhanallah, that was a couple years ago, and then I started Strong Muslimah with the pure intention of keeping it on the side, but it's grown. And, there is demand in our community. Something about the way I do things resonates, alhamdulillah. And, my aim is simple. My aim is that I want Muslim women to be strong spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, strong in terms of their relationships, especially within the family unit, and strong in terms of their service to the community. Now, we do see a lot of Muslim women that are strong in terms of their service to the community, but that service comes from a place of maybe weakness or resentment or overwhelm, or they burn out. So what I want to do is increase women's capacity according to the Quran and Sunnah, so that we can do those kinds of things that we were born to do, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do. This is where the reward is. This is where the impact is. This is what our community needs. So my whole job is like, how can I increase your capacity? How can I help you get strong internally so that you're able to do all the things that you want to do, that you were born to do, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala programmed you to do, gave you specific talents to be able to do. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm loving it. And I wanna do more, but time. I also have, mashallah, I have 3 children of my own and 3 stepkids, so it's a big family. We're a blended family, and and I can't just talk about building a beautiful family culture. I have to walk the talk, so I try to do that in my home as well. So it's a lot. Alhamdulillah, though, really enjoying it. It's good work, it's fulfilling work, and it's work that I know has positive impact. Alhamdulillah.
Amazing, amazing, mashallah. So we've got you down as somebody who specializes and can help people who need help with healing in marriage, divorce, and parenting. Just going to the first point with healing, I noticed that you've got the Palestinian scarf there. Have you come across in the part during, because there's a war going on in Gaza? May Allah help all our brothers and sisters there. Have you come across anyone who needs help with healing, getting over maybe some of the trauma that they've experienced just by the news and everything that's happening, maybe even knowing people out there? How's it going on that side of things?
Yeah, so the work has definitely shifted over the last 2 months with the genocide that's been going on.
Mm.
Um, I did a couple of healing circles through various community organizations, all online. Um, some of it is not even on Instagram, some of it's on Facebook, through like Muslim Moms of Canada and stuff like that. But the the calls I've been getting are actually, so I used to be very actively involved in the sort of activist community back when I was a student, like we're talking about 20 years ago, and we're talking about the Iraq war context. So people know me from that context. And so a lot of the calls I've been getting have been from activists or people that are lawyers or people that are on the front lines doing media work or organizing protests. And so I've been trying to, behind the scenes, be that person of support for these people. To help them to manage their own emotions, because we can't really do anything for anyone in Palestine if we're not emotionally self-regulated and unless we're very strong in our ability to communicate and we know what those talking points are and we're not frazzled and we're not upset when somebody comes at us with, you know, the absolute garbage that they're coming at us with,
Yeah.
subhanAllah. But to know firmly what our points are and to know and to be able to articulate them with strength and confidence requires, I think, a high degree of emotional self-regulation, to not be triggered, to not get into a place where you sound angry or frazzled or like you're about to cry, but to sound really confident and be able to counter those points with that confidence. So I've been helping women do that. And then I've got my regular clientele, and a lot of it, as you said, are women that require parenting support, marital support, divorce support. When I first started, I thought I would be working more with women that require support after divorce, but it hasn't turned out that way. A lot of the female clients that I work with actually end up choosing to stay in their marriages, and then we work on their marriages instead. Alhamdulillah for that. So there's doing a little bit of everything. The parenting support seems to be the ongoing sort of common denominator since the beginning of the work.
Amazing. So you're clearly very busy, mashallah. And just on that topic, if people want your services and want to get in touch with you, they can do through mymuslimmentors.com. As a special for anybody who's watching, tuning in, and going on the website this weekend, we do have a special offer for anybody who signs up to get a free discovery session with their chosen mentor. So, for example, if you want to engage Coach Saadia for her services, we can get you in touch with her, and you can have an initial discovery session absolutely for free, which would normally cost you something. And after that, you can work out a plan, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, or whatever it is, going forward, to work on whatever it is that you need help with, where Coach Saadia can assist and help you. And just as I was saying with previously with Coach Mohammed, as part of the service as well through My Muslim Mentors, the client, the person who's seeking the service, will also get an accountability coach as a sidekick to the main coach as well. So if you, for example, have a session with Coach Saadia on the weekend, after a few days during the week, you'll get a coach from a member of our team, a call from a member of our team. Just see how you're doing, how you're getting on. Is there anything we can help you with? Are you ready for the next session? Have you done any homeworks or anything like that that may have been said? And it's just a support system, and inshallah, a journey that the whole that we work on as a team, through the whole journey for the client, or the person who needs the help, inshallah.
I love that. That is such a great idea.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So inshallah, that will definitely be happening as well, inshallah. So please do go onto the website and have a look. Coach Saadia's profile is on there. There's a video explaining more about her as well. And you're located in Canada, right?
That's right. That's right. But I work with women all over the world.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. Alhamdulillah. So that's great, mashallah. So is there anything else you'd like to say? I'd like to kind of leave the final words with yourself, inshallah. Is there anything you'd like to say to the audience?
Okay, sure. Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for doing this work. And I may Allah put barakah in it for you. I love it. As soon as you told me about this, I was just so excited for you. And I know you're the right person to do this. And I can't wait to see where it goes because I think it's going to be huge. Mashallah. And the other thing is, I just want to remind everybody that everything that's happening is unfolding according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan. You know, it's very easy for us to fall into despair. It's very easy for us to fall into outrage. It's very easy for us to get emotionally overwhelmed by everything we're watching. And of course, we were never meant to watch a genocide unfolding. This is perhaps the first digital genocide where we have access to so many of the images of the carnage that's being unleashed on these poor innocent people. And we were never meant to watch those sort of images. Like, that's not healthy. That's not normal. But we're doing it, and to remind yourself that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a plan, that everything's unfolding according to plan. So our job is not necessarily to change anything except ourselves, and to do whatever we can in our small, limited capacity. We're not going to be able to, perhaps most of us don't have the power to affect change on the level that we would want. And it's very easy to fall into overwhelm, right? It's very easy to feel like, oh my God, I wish I could do more, and to get depressed. And that's when Shaitan is waiting to whisper in your ear and say, yeah, why are you doing anything? What's the point? No, we keep our consistency, and we keep our activism, and we keep our we advocate continuously for these people, and we do whatever we can, donate from a place of understanding that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end does not burden us with the result, but only with our effort. So we're making whatever effort we can for the sake of Allah, so we can meet him on the day of judgment and say, I witnessed, I shared, I amplified the platforms of people who are on the front lines, I donated, I did this, I did that. But knowing full well that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a grander plan in place. And this is easier perhaps for me to see as somebody with a background in history. The oppressor never wins. Sometimes it takes a few decades, sometimes it takes a few hundreds of years, but the oppressor never wins in the end. So we have to keep that like long-term game in mind, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, knows what he's doing. And we submit to his will, we submit to his plan, and we do what we can within our limited capacity, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Coach Saadia. Just wanted to say, sorry, one last thing. I really do want to say this before you go, if you don't mind. I know that you've got a busy day, and I know that your father-in-law is actually not well as well, and you were almost not able to kind of join us, and then
Yeah.
and then you said no, you will. So Jazakallah khair for that, for joining us, and also I'd like to ask everyone to make dua for your father-in-law, to grant him complete shifa, and also to grant him ease, and to the whole family, inshallah.
I mean, Jazakallah, I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Coach Saadia. Thank you for your time. So, inshallah,
All right, thank you.
see you again soon. Take care now.
All right, Assalamu alaikum. Have a great weekend.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.